Hey guys, welcome to the Money Mix podcast number 4. Thank you guys for joining us again. And you're with Al and Stan. Stan, take it away.
Yes. So today the Fed raised the interest rate again to 25 basis points more. What do you think is going to happen with this continuous raising of the rates, Al?
I think that this is going to cause lots of problems at this point. I feel like they're continuously doing it, and it seems like every time they raise the rate, they say there's not going to be any more. We're good. This is going to stabilize everything, and the
Right.
house prices and it's going to fix so much stuff. And then they're like, oh yeah, by the way, the inflation is still going up. So
Right.
I,
Right. Well, I mean, they're trying to get inflation down to 2% a year. And with continuous, raising of the rates, I just have a feeling that it's going to cause a lot of problems, especially in the employment sector, right? And not only employment, but the banks as well. I mean, so far, I think we've seen three banks fail, and I think that's actually a pretty light number. I think that we're going to go up to way more than just that. So 25 basis points may not seem a lot, but when you add to the 5% that they already raised, I mean, it's pretty significant.
no, it's huge. If you're
Yeah,
buying anything right now that is whatever, if you're getting a loan for anything right now for 20,000 to 100,000, whether it's a car,
yeah,
whether it's a house, whatever you're buying, you're seeing the difference now versus the loan that you could have gotten only a few years ago, which was just so
absolutely.
much lower. Yeah, it just
Absolutely. I mean, I think this hinders people from making big purchases like cars and homes, right? So from the lows of like maybe like 2 point something percent
yeah.
to right now the highs of 5 something percent. Remember, this is just the borrowing rate that a bank actually gets. This is not an individual person that gets like 5.25, for example.
Right,
No,
exactly.
this is the bank, and then what the bank does, it tax on their own interest rate, which is the margin that they make. So we're talking about potentially like 6.5, 7%. And so when you look at it from that perspective, let's say like you were able to afford a $600,000 home back when the interest rates were like 3%, right? So now the home prices have gone up to like 600,000. I mean, there's no way you're going to be able to afford it. So you're going to have to look for a really cheap house to buy, right? I
Well,
mean, it's really
right,
difficult right now.
and right now you're seeing conversations in regards to the debt ceiling in general, where it seems like the president wants to continue increasing the debt, as
Yeah,
basically he's been doing a lot and he wants to do. It just feels, even if you agree with his spending, you have to see that when inflation is high, us spending $1 trillion here and $1 trillion there
yeah.
has actual effects on the economy. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
not like, I remember when the crash happened in 2008, and people were going crazy. Like, we're going to give $600 billion to these companies. That was 600 billion. We have in the last few years spent trillions of dollars on, most people couldn't even tell you, infrastructure, whatever that means at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
And but
That's
our inflation just keeps on going up and up and up,
yeah.
and we
Well,
still are talking about increasing spending. It's just I don't know.
I mean, technically, like the dollar is really dying right now, and there are a lot of countries like China and Russia who are going away from using the dollar to, for example, purchase oil, right, or gasoline. They're going away from that, and they're trying to use their own money to do so. So, I mean, this. in no way helps out the economy with adding, another 25% basis points. I think something else is going to break. I think that, potentially another bank, maybe bigger, is going to fail, and that's going to potentially start a cascading effect. So, I mean, this is really, really bad. I think that potentially, and maybe I'm wrong, but potentially, they're going to freeze the interest rate hike soon. That's what I think. And eventually,
Wait. What do you mean by freeze? Do you mean like
well,
they're not going to raise it anymore
yeah.
or lower it, or you mean
Well, no, no. I think first they're gonna stop lowering it. I mean, first they're gonna stop raising it. Okay, because I mean, think
they
about
kind of have to at this point? But yes, go ahead.
right, right. I mean, think about it. We started from 75, then 50. Now we're going down to 25. I mean, so what I'm thinking is that they're gonna have no other choice. Something between now and potentially November is going to break. And when it does, I think the Fed is going to pivot, and they're going to have no other choice but to stop. But not only that, they're going to have to reverse. That's
Mhm.
what I think. They're going to have to lower the interest rates again. So I don't know. What do you think, Al? You think that's a possibility or not?
Of them having to do it all over again,
What do you
or
mean?
you mean of the crashing of other banks?
No, no, no. Well, the whole thing, well, it's not only banks, right? So the food
Right.
prices
That's
are gonna the food prices are gonna go up. Companies are gonna go out of business. People are gonna lose more jobs, right? Because what they're saying is the unemployment rate is actually pretty low at 3%, but they're not really factoring in somebody who is not on the unemployment spreadsheet in a sense, right? So
right. Right. Exactly. They're not counting people that went on welfare. They're not counting everything else that goes into it. They're
right,
just counting people who are specifically unemployed. You know,
right, right.
like that. That's a very different number. Because
Exactly.
there's a lot of people that fell behind and went on welfare and because they need
Well,
it.
well, a lot of people don't even know when they say unemployment, they don't mean like not having a job. What they're saying is that unemployment equals the unemployment office sending you a check. So if
Right,
you're
exactly.
if you're
Exactly.
not getting the check, then you're not unemployed. That's bullshit. That's really for stupid people, right? Which like you have to do your research to actually know that that's not what they mean. But no, so I'm asking you whether you think that things are going to break and force a lot of companies into bankruptcy along with banks, whether that particular moment in time is going to have the Fed reverse their stance on increasing the interest rate.
Um, it's hard to say that like no companies are going to go out of business. There's definitely going to be companies that will go out of business. Will it be as catastrophic as what you're saying? Probably not to the degree that at least you described, but there definitely will be companies that will fail. There's definitely going to be more and more issues with raising the rate. And I feel like who really are going to feel it the most, it's not really even the bigger companies, because I think like the bigger companies like Apple and Amazon and all that, they're going to be absolutely fine. And
Right.
I think and the banks are going to be fine. Even if they need a bailout, they're going to be fine. It's
No,
really the individuals that are really going to be screwed by this.
yes, they're gonna
And
be screwed. You're right. They are gonna be screwed. But my question really is that okay, look, they continue to raise the interest rate, right? We know that there is a ceiling for everyone, right? Let's say you have a mortgage, you're paying $2,000 a month, right?
Mhm.
And it's a variable interest rate. Let's say they continuously each month they keep on raising, raising, raising. Let's say all of a sudden it's $3,000 a month, and then you can't pay for it, right? You can't. So you're gonna default on that. So the same thing goes for banks, same thing goes for businesses, right? So what I'm asking you from your perspective is, do you think that the Fed will pivot when something breaks only? Like, will they say, "Listen, guys, we messed up. Now we're gonna reverse."
That
You know
was
what I
funny.
mean?
I understand what you mean, but that was funny. Will the Fed pivot? Yes. Will
Okay.
they say, guys, we fucked up? No.
Okay.
I
Right.
genuinely don't know of any time any federal official said that.
Right.
Like
Right. Right.
like that's not a thing. It doesn't matter what they do, it doesn't matter how they do it, they'll find the silver lining and they'll focus on that. So instead of
Right.
saying, oh yeah,
Absolutely.
we have a high unemployment right now, but, and they'll
Yeah.
find something positive
Well,
about it, you know.
Well, it's going to be like we have a high unemployment rate, but in 6 months it's going to go away, right? Because
Right.
you know what I
It's
mean.
something. It's temporary. Let's blame
It
the
is.
previous administration, and the
It is.
new administration is going to blame the previous administration, and
Yeah.
no one ever takes ownership of
Well,
anything, and that's why no one ever goes to jail in our government.
no, I agree with you, but it's always temporary. They know as long as they don't extend the unemployment like they did in 2019, which I got, right? I got really
Hmm.
lucky
Hmm.
when I got fired. That at that particular time we were going through the mortgage crisis, and they actually extended unemployment for 2 years.
Yeah,
So
that's insane.
that was really in the same period of time. But the question is, if that happens again, will they actually do that? I mean, I think they probably might do that, but they could also not necessarily. They could. They probably will give UBI, which is Universal Basic Income, to most everybody anyway.
Yeah. But
You know,
that's not a
so
thing that's happening right now, though. I mean,
now,
right now, the focus is really going to be about people like literally losing their jobs, and that
yeah,
is what's happening. I mean, if you look at like the big companies like firing thousands of thousands, whether it's Amazon and Facebook and Twitter and so on and so forth.
yeah,
You
yeah,
look
yeah.
at like we're talking about so many people that were fired in just months period. So
Absolutely. It's crazy, but think about this. Like, they continuously are raising the rates, right? I mean, Chairman Powell, he thinks everything's fine. Everything is great. The banks are in great condition. That's what he said today. The banks are in great condition. The unemployment is only at 3%. I think we're doing, a great job. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, he's completely ignoring the fact that a lot of people lost their jobs. I mean, he's saying there's so many jobs out there that are hard to fill. Yeah, like the cheap jobs. You know what I mean? The ones that pay you minimum wage. I completely agree with you. There are probably a lot of those jobs that have openings, but we're talking about like high tech jobs, that pay you more money, in various sectors. A lot of people have lost their jobs just because the tech sector right now is not performing well. So I think what they're trying to do is I think they're completely trying to break the economy, and I think they will do that. They will break the
all
economy
right,
this year. Oh, wait.
I'm not going with like
Well, you're
like
not
yeah,
going. You're
they're
not
trying
going.
to but come on, we're not gonna have a conversation in regards to the high rate and they're willfully trying to break the economy. That's
They're,
really where we're heading with this.
they're trying to break the economy, and when they do break the economy, they're going to have to go back to the table, and they're going to have to reverse things. So what I feel from let's say today up until November, I think is that period of time where the Fed is going to pivot. Something bad is going to
Well,
happen.
okay.
you know
The pivot is one thing. Breaking economy, I think it's the words there like mean actually something. Breaking the economy means
well,
bankruptcy, meaning
no,
default. It
no,
means all of that kind of stuff. So I'm
no,
like,
I don't think. Okay, let me make it clear. Okay, it's going to seem like they broke the economy, and then they're going to go back to the table like they did in 2009, and they're going to say, listen guys, we're going to have to reverse. That's what I'm trying to say. They're not going to let it go to the point of like complete destruction.
anarchy.
That's
Okay, all right, okay.
they're gonna make it.
That's what I wanted to clarify.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna make it seem like it's so dire, but then they're gonna come back with a solution. And I think we're going to go on such a huge bull run that everyone is just going to go mad. They're going to be so, in my opinion, at least, they're going to be so pissed off because a lot of people right now, as far as investments go, they're on the sideline, right? Because they're scared. What do you think, Al? Do you think a lot of people are just like holding back, not investing right now?
Of course, of course. I mean, not everyone, but yeah, I would think that right now most people are not thinking about investments. They're thinking more about how they're going to pay for stuff, and
Yeah,
if they
exactly.
need to get a loan, if they need to do something. So I feel
Yeah,
like it's more dire for most people, and the only time you're really thinking about investments is when you're comfortable. And if you're
you
if you're comfortable, then yeah, you might be thinking about that. But even now, I would still say there's a lot of people that are uncertain what's going to happen in the stock market, what's going to
yeah,
happen with cryptos, what's going to happen there, and there's
yeah.
still a lot of uncertainty there. And sometimes this is where you get in and you thrive from that, and people are afraid that if they come
Well,
in right now, they might burn from that. So
I
uh,
mean, like, what's it called? Warren Buffett. Okay, the way that he invests is when there's blood on the street, he goes after it, and there's going to be a lot of blood on the streets left between today and November.
man,
There
what
will
is
be.
what
I'm
is
telling you.
what is with your
What?
descriptions of
That's how.
like
Hey,
the economy will, they're trying to break the economy to
hey,
there be blood on the streets. I
right. These
understand what
are
you're saying. I understand the metaphor you're trying to use, but man, the description you're using is just like, all right, what they're going to do by raising the rate hike is they're going to cut off people's heads right at the neck. You know, it's
oh,
like I
okay.
I, I get what you're saying, but you're like,
You just added that one. No, but these
yeah,
are
yeah,
the
no, I know. I give an example of you
all
going
right.
overboard with your descriptions.
Well, it's not me necessarily. I'm just using the terms that other analysts use. So, yeah, these are not my
I don't know.
terms. Well, I'm just telling you, these are not my terms. But what I am predicting is that November December period
Hmm.
after the blood runs dry, that we're gonna go on such a tear. The stock market, the crypto market, the gold market is gonna go insane, and people are gonna start chasing it. And that's when, a lot of the people are going to lose their minds, honestly, because why didn't I get in on it when it was like dirt cheap, right?
But that
And
always happens, right? Whenever
yeah,
whenever any market goes up, it's always, oh man, if I only did that.
yeah.
That that's never anything new.
Well,
But
but by
go
the
ahead.
way, sorry guys.
Yeah.
By the way, this is not financial advice. We're not financial advisors. We never give any financial advice.
If you're listening right now, hearing him talk about blood on the streets, and you're going like, that's some good financial advice, think twice. All right,
Right,
think
exactly.
twice.
This is
Okay.
not financial advice, and we are never
No, no,
financial advisors. So,
no, not like, again. That's a really weird thing. It's like if you go like, I heard this guy talk about blood in the streets, and he made a really good point. I invested. That's like, no, but to turn this discussion, I feel like there's going to be a shift. Whether you're right on the timetable, I have no clue. I don't know when that will happen, but there has to be a shift. They can't keep on raising the rate hike, and hopefully, and again, just at least going on the positive side. I hope that, for example, you said this, the markets go up, everybody starts making good money, and hopefully people could jump on the bandwagon and make
yeah.
some money, even if you're late to the club. So that's
Okay.
basically it.
So, what do you see? Do you see them continuing to raise rates, or do you think that this is just the last one?
I I'm crossing my fingers here and hoping it's actually the last one instead of them
Okay,
just
but
saying it's the
but
last one.
okay. What would
Yes,
you say? What would you say?
I'll look the positive side. I'll say yes. I'll say this is the last one.
I think that there might be one more. I think one more, and that just like annihilates the economy in the short term. I think one more, and it's gonna shock everyone. That's what
Okay,
I think.
we got a break, blood, annihilate. Got it.
Yeah,
You guys know what's gonna happen. All right.
I
All right.
think. I
All right.
think I might be wrong. I'm not gonna
All right.
say it, right.
Let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic is a good one, actually. So Apple just last month launched a high yield savings account that's paying at 4.15%, with no minimum deposits, no balance requirements, and no fees. By the way, we're not sponsored by them. Obviously, we're not getting anything from them.
I
It's,
wish.
yeah,
I
exactly,
wish. We
exactly,
need a
exactly.
sponsor. Anyone
Right,
who
right,
wants to
exactly.
sponsor us, please send us a message.
Right, right, exactly. And this is this is they're calling a savings account, but you can actually transact like it's a checking account in terms of you actually have the Apple Card and you could use it to pay. So meaning you could just take out money whenever you want and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely a really, really, really high rate, especially right now. And they within only 4 days got like over $1 billion invested into it. They'll obviously attract with as big of a base as they have, they'll attract way more people soon. So my question to you is, with this huge, basically this huge, company and their the savings account, do you think that this is a game changer, or do you think that this is just another product that they're releasing and it's just going to be just another $1 billion thing for
No,
them?
no, no. I think honestly that this is a game changer. I think that this brings in a lot of customers to Apple. We're talking about high-end clientele. Why? Because a lot of the people that own Apple products make good money, and we all know that because MacBook Pros are not cheap at all, right? I mean, they're really worth it, honestly. When I had a PC, I had so many issues, just from personal, experience, right? So I really do think that this brings a lot of money into Apple, and once this is successful, then I really do believe that they're going to start rolling out mortgage loans and cryptocurrencies. So I really do think this is a game changer for Apple. So I think it's great for them. If you have $1 million, you're going to be making $40,000 a year, and a lot of people trust Apple. So this is just tremendous for their customer base. You know.
But what do you think in terms of the company? So for example, there's a lot of people that currently invest into Apple, even though most companies have gone down. Apple is one of the only companies that has basically stuck to it, and
Well,
their stock isn't going anywhere. Do
well,
you?
remember when we had the conversation, you were asking me like, why is Apple like, a tech company, like, why aren't they going down? And I clearly told you it's because one, they're really smart. You know what I mean? And two, you can not rent, but you can pay for a phone on a monthly basis, right? You don't have to buy it outright. I think
Sure.
if you had to buy it outright right now, $1,000+ would be a lot of money. But if you're
Okay,
only
okay, okay, okay,
paying
okay, okay. But
30 bucks a month,
I
you
feel
only
like I feel
paying
like
30
I feel like
bucks a
you're going
month.
on the time. I get it. I get what you're saying. They're a good company, and you could pay all that kind of stuff. Got it. But I'm really talking about in terms of, do you think that this product in itself, do you think it will have an effect on the actual stock of the company? Meaning, like you're saying, this is a game changer. Do you think that this is something that will have the Apple stock blow up like
I
as
think I think
soon,
I
or do you think that this is a long-term thing and maybe in like 2 3 years then the stock will really
well,
reflect what they've done now?
okay, think about it. They're a $3 trillion company. 3 trillion? That's ridiculous. That's a huge market cap. But I mean, they probably have a lot of money on the sideline that they can do something with. So I mean,
Yes, they do.
for for this to reflect on their stock price, I don't think so. But
Wow, okay.
if they can continue to add more products like cryptocurrency products and mortgages, and I mean, I definitely heard coming out with a car. I mean, so if they can continuously add more and more things to their lineup, I
No,
mean,
but I'm just talking about this product though. Like,
no,
see, the thing is, to me, I actually agree with the first thing you said, which was I do believe this is a game changer. They're basically, while they're not necessarily becoming a bank, they're bank adjacent, and they have so many people that love their product and will trust them over, like, if you ask
yeah,
an average person, who do you trust more, your Chase Bank or Apple, or your Wells Fargo Bank or Apple? most people, especially if you have an Apple product, like I probably would trust Apple a little bit more. And because of that, if the trust is already there, man, I feel
Yeah.
like this is not a multi-million. I believe that this is a multi-billion dollar move for them. Excuse me, a
Yeah.
multi-trillion dollar move for them.
Well,
I believe
I wouldn't say that
again,
this is
again, in
really.
the long run, with their base of people that they could reach anywhere with giving, and remember, I'm assuming the rate that they're giving right now in the account they're giving, they're probably not making a lot of money off of it. But they don't mind that. They don't mind just getting as many people as possible, giving them a really high rate, and then they could sell them other
Exactly.
products and have
Exactly.
them do other stuff.
I
But
think I
I
think
don't
this
mean other products as in a car or a new product. I mean just in general, sell them other stuff that
I
they want.
think I think that this is a start, and I think that this is a huge game changer. But I don't think that the stock price is going to be reflected yet. I think that it's going to take probably many years, because I mean, think about it. Like I said, they're a $3 trillion. They're a three
Three
trillion
dollars.
dollar, right? They're a $3 trillion company, right? So for the stock price to double, you would need another 3 trillion to go into it. So I mean, no, I don't think
Well,
it's a
yeah,
start. I'm just saying it's a start. It's a really good start. They can do whatever they want. See, when you have so much money, you can do whatever you want. Okay, and like Amazon, as you've seen Amazon do, they're starting a pharmacy. They have a pharmacy. You know what I mean? Like who would have thought that Amazon would become a pharmacy? I mean, come on. So
I don't
since
know. I kind of feel like that there's quite a few people that talked about it before they ever did it.
that's fine, but I'm saying like even before that, who would think that? So the thing is, I think Apple is going to do tremendous, meaning like they're gonna continue to do extremely well. Would I invest into it? No. I mean, because I wouldn't be able to make a lot of money off of it. They're like, oh well, it's a safe bet. It is for now, but like your risk to reward ratio is very high, in a sense like you're risking money to make more money, but the problem is that it could drop a lot,
See,
but it
see,
can't go
I,
up a lot. It can't go up
I,
a lot.
everything you just said is true. But at the same time, when the stock was at $1.5 trillion, people were saying the same thing as you're saying now. What are you expecting it to double to 3 trillion? Are you insane? There's
Right,
no like
right,
Apple is the first $1 trillion company. Are you really expecting it to double and then
right.
to triple? There's no,
Sure.
all I'm saying is that it's happening over and over again. And by the way, yes, I do expect them to double. I do expect them to triple again after that. I do expect all of that. Like when it will happen, I have no clue. But will it? Unless
Okay,
Apple like the adoption of Apple drops, and for whatever reason, people are like I hate iPhone, I hate MacBooks, I hate everything there is to do that. Like
right.
outside from that, it just seems like they're going up, 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 and up,
Okay,
and they
okay,
keep
okay.
on. Yeah,
So
go ahead.
let me ask you a very simple question. Would you rather invest into Apple or Amazon right now? Right now, at their valuations. What would you rather?
Right now, at the moment, I would argue that you would want. Well, for me, I would personally invest into Amazon right now because
Okay,
it's down. But hold on a second. But it's because it's how much it's down. That's
sure.
the reason. Whereas Apple isn't. But
Okay,
but we're
sure,
wait
sure.
wait wait wait. But that's not the conversation though. The conversation is about this product and will it change anything, not whether is there is there or are there better investments than Apple? Yeah, 100%. You could give me a bunch of different other options. I never said that there isn't. All I'm saying is I believe that this will be something that will take them to the thing that you just said, the doubling of Apple. I believe that this will play a huge part of that.
I don't think that this will, but I think this opens the door for other products that they're going to actually offer that are very similar, because they're going to be banking options. Okay, think about it in this sense, right? You have Mercedes, right? Mercedes, as far as I know, only does two things, right? It manufactures cars, and then it offers loans on those cars. Okay,
Mhm.
but okay, let's say Mercedes is like, listen, we have a lot of money, we want to go into banking. Okay, well, that potentially could double or triple their revenue, right? Well, that's what Apple is doing. But yet again, it takes time, right? And I don't think in the short term, from my perspective, it's going to get them anywhere. But in the
You
long,
keep, but wait, you keep on saying that. I never made the argument that in the short run
okay,
that it's going
all
to
right,
blow up. I asked you whether you think one or the other, or do you
okay,
think neither at all?
okay.
And all I'm saying is, I do believe that this is a long play. I don't think that this is like tomorrow their stock is going to blow up. Uh,
Yeah.
but I do believe that in the long run, I think that this is a huge plus to them, and this will take them to the doubling that you said you don't think is going to happen.
No, no, it's going to happen, but it's not going to happen like in 2, 3 years. I think this is like a 5, 10 year plan. But all I'm trying to say,
Oh, I 100% disagree on that.
okay, all
You
right,
think it's going to take them 5 years to double again?
yes, I think so. I think
Like
so.
again, that the only way that I could see that happening is if the economy really goes down like drastically, where people don't have, they can't
Well,
afford their bills for their phone, they can't afford to buy a new phone, things like that. Then yes, but outside of that, if we're not in that kind of environment, I I don't know why you would bet against Apple.
I'm not betting against them. I'm just like simply telling you that for them to double again, I think potentially it would take at least 5 years. But
Okay.
nevertheless, I still would not invest into Apple at this point. At this valuation, I would not touch Apple. Okay, because for example, like you said, Amazon's down 50%, and then you're wondering, okay, well, why isn't Apple down 50%? That could also happen to Apple. They can also go down 50%. So why would I risk my money at this point
But
knowing that that's a potential? So I
but wait,
wouldn't.
but wait, but wait, but wait,
That's
but
what
wait,
I'm
but
trying to
wait.
say.
What you just said, right? But what you just said is I have no clue even what said about that. Like you just basically said, why would I risk on something that could also go down 50%? You could literally say it about anything. Is there a stock right now that you're 100% certain, 100% certain that won't go down 50%? Like there's nothing like that.
Well, okay,
Like anything is
right.
possible. Like any stock could
Anything,
go down.
anything is possible, but I'm saying I would rather put my money into something that has a tremendous upside, like Amazon, that is already down 50%. That's all I'm trying to say.
I
I'm
get,
not.
but the question was never, you for whatever reason brought up a new argument. Like, is
That's all I'm
Apple the best investment? That's not what we're talking about. No, no, I agree with you. I don't think Apple is the best investment. But we're
okay.
not talking about whether it's a best investment. We're talking
Okay.
about whether this particular product that they just introduced
Mm.
will it be a benefit to them in the long run or the
Yeah,
short
yeah.
run or whatever.
I well, I already answered that. I said yes, yes, yes. I'm just saying I'm bringing up my point,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. But your point isn't something that we're arguing about. You're kind of making this thing like if it's
we're
better
not
for you to invest into
right.
into
Well, we're not
like something else than Apple. It's like okay,
right, but
great.
we're not really arguing about anything. We're just having a discussion. It's just the fact that I'm
That's
saying
kind of an argument.
I'm just adding on to it, and what I'm saying is because of this, like I wouldn't put my money into Apple. I rather put into Amazon that is down 50%. That's all I'm trying to say. Is this a game change?
I feel like I'll be repeating myself if I say it, but it's the same thing that I already said. So I get what you're saying. You don't
Yeah.
have to repeat it anymore. I get it that you think that there's better products out there to invest into.
Yeah,
That,
yeah, yeah,
that's
absolutely. But also there are other companies that are also competing against Apple, or Apple's competing against them. Like for example, Coinbase is also giving you a 4% APY, and I'm sure other institutions are doing as well. So it doesn't necessarily mean that Apple is going to take away from them, but the base that
no, no, not
they have,
not from crypto.
yeah,
Unless they offer something like that, they're definitely not going to take anything from crypto. But at the same time, I do think that there's people who are not in crypto, people who have first, for example, at first you said that like, well, this is primarily for rich people because a lot of people who own Apple are rich. I don't like they have so many people that have iPhones now that I don't know if it's only for rich people, and
no,
I could definitely see people with like a regular job who put in their paycheck and having everything paid from there, and at the same time
right,
earning the 4.15%. I could
It's
see a
not.
lot of people doing that. It's free as well to them.
It's not only for rich people, but when Apple became very popular, and the people that used Apple were on the richer end because they would use the MacBook, right?
Sure. But
It's
it's
expensive product, right?
sure
So
it's
yeah,
them. But I'm saying, but now in terms of phones, most people buy phones that are relatively the same price. And
yeah,
if you want, you could even get the cheaper version of Apple, which is
sure.
comparable to other cheaper phones as well.
I think
So
it's a stigma. I think it's just the stigma of like
sure.
thinking, oh, you have an Apple, oh, you drive a Tesla. I think it's almost like that the people that have a Tesla have an Apple product, and vice versa. So I think it's
Well,
just a
I
stigma.
feel yeah, but I feel like the phone itself, I think is a little different. Yes, I agree with you. If you buy a MacBook Pro, for example, that's like over $2,000. Yeah, you're probably a person who has some money to spend. Whereas I think that if you're a person who's buying an iPhone, I don't like. While maybe there's some stigma, because I really do think it's much less than it was before. But
Yeah,
I feel like now if you have a iPhone, I would like never like. I don't know if I would judge a homeless person with an iPhone. I
I,
really don't
I
like
think I
because
would.
I've seen homeless people
I
with phones. I've never looked close enough what phone they have, but I wouldn't be like,
think.
"What? He has an iPhone? What's
Oh no,
going on?"
I think I would, because I think that homeless people have the government phone. So
What's the government phone? I don't even
yeah,
know
yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
Government gives a phone or a rebate for a free phone. Okay, so I'm not sure what it is, but I do know it's an Android-based phone. So if a homeless person has an iPhone, I would question if that person is actually homeless. Honestly, you
You
know,
think they're undercover?
I mean, well, okay, well, hey, that's a good point. One, they could be undercover. Two, they could be a rapist. And
Wait. Now the iPhone has something to do with rapists? What?
no, it's not. No, yeah, I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to go in that direction. I'm just saying that it's somebody who is posing as a homeless person, but really isn't a homeless person. You know what I mean? So you have to, if you see a homeless
Okay.
person with a brand new iPhone.
I just hope you like if you do see a homeless person and they do have an iPhone, I hope you don't like start telling them like, hey, I know what you really are.
No, listen, don't beat up that person. Don't touch him. Just run away right away, because you never know what type of person. It could be a rapist. It could
What's doing going back to rapists?
it could be it,
Why is a
it
homeless person with an iPhone a
I
rapist?
don't know. It could be
That's
a
like, oh
rapist,
no, he has an Android phone. Don't worry, he doesn't rape. Oh, but if
right?
he has an iPhone, that's totally a rapist. Run
Yeah,
away.
it could be. It could be a professional rapist. He could be a undercover police officer, right? Or it could be someone who's pretending to be a homeless person to collect money. I've heard of that before.
And it could be an alien. I mean, like if we're going
Uh,
with a gambit of rapists
I
working for like a police officer and a homeless person, I just I don't know. But
no, I'm just saying, just stay away from a homeless person that has an iPhone. That's
all
all.
right, I feel like we left the topic so far away at this point that that anywho, all right. So this is a product that I think is going to help. You feel like it's going to help, but you're really looking at it very long term and doesn't have a huge effect, but will have a huge effect on other products. Basically, that's
Yeah,
your point, my
yeah,
point.
yeah.
So let's move on to the last topic of the day. Go for it.
Oh wow, this one made me laugh. Honestly, like this is an amazing headline. A $1 trillion coin to solve the debt ceiling, and
I love
as
it already.
oh, it's amazing. Because then I would become so rich. Oh my God, that would be ridiculous. Because I have two platinum coins. So pretty much
Nice.
that particular coin that they're talking about is a platinum coin that would be just like a regular. I mean, look, I understand if they said, okay, look, we're gonna build a mountain, okay?
Okay, hold on. Before you start giving your opinion, can you explain like okay, so who's introducing? What are they introducing?
Right.
And
So
like
so there's a debt ceiling, and this debt ceiling, is being reached right now really fast. So it's like a $1 trillion debt ceiling, and Congress doesn't know how to pay for it. Okay, so they get their money from the Fed. So the Fed issues their money, and it has an interest rate. So the interest rate would be around like over 5%. So, but they don't know how to pay for it, right? So they have to negotiate with them, right? So if they can't negotiate with them on a $1 trillion, for example, debt ceiling, right? Then what they're gonna get less, right? And if they get less, then they're gonna have to start cutting programs. So, for example, what we were just talking about, homeless people, they might not be able to get a phone. So, you know what I mean? They might not be able to call another homeless person in the future. So, or Social Security, that might be cut. They already talked about it before. They can cut, for example, Medi-Cal, Medicare, or any governmental program. They can also lay off people because they can't afford to pay them a salary. So, in a sense, what they're saying, and when I say what they're saying, I'm talking about the economists. They're coming up with this idea that they can just mint a $1 trillion platinum coin and give it to the Fed, and then the Fed is going to, uh, you know, give them a loan for another $1 trillion. Now, this is just a
Okay.
temporary solutions. Like, what do you think, Al, about this?
I think it's ludicrous. I mean, it's sort of like, okay, so we get a basically we give a note that we're going to basically pay everything back, but now we're giving a metal coin that says we're going to pay it back. That
Yeah.
trust us, this coin, it might not actually be worth this, but if we tell people it's worth this, then it's worth this. Then
Right. Right.
then you could just go like, hey, we have 50 of these $1 trillion coins. It really it doesn't make sense to me, and I'm really curious about the economists that are suggesting it. If these are economists who are just kind of like, hey, you know what? We're not really doing much right now. Let's just suggest anything and see if they go for it.
Right, right, absolutely. I mean, it just sounds ridiculous, right? I mean, look, why not a gold coin? Why specifically a platinum coin? We know that gold is worth more than platinum right now. In the 90s, platinum was worth more than gold, but nobody thinks about platinum anymore. Platinum is like the 10-pound gorilla that is invisible. You know what I mean? So it's like, why platinum? Like, it's just, to me, it
I
really sounds crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy, crazy.
I don't know what even like to me, I don't care what metal they would have said, whether it was gold, whether it was silver, whether it was meteorite coin. I don't care what it is. It's not worth that. So by us just saying that anything, meaning you could go like, hey, all right, we're gonna make this stapler, and this stapler is $1 trillion. Put
Yeah,
it into the Federal Reserve as a
yeah.
$1 trillion stapler. It's like I don't like you're screwing with the economy for the fucks of it, and
Right.
it's like
Exactly.
I like
Well, well, okay, okay. Well, okay, why can't we as the regular people do the same thing, right? I mean, okay, let's say we have a debt of $1 million, whatever, right? Why can't we say that, oh, look, here's a gold coin that we have. Here you go, bank. You
hey,
know,
you know what?
my debt is free.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you haven't tried, so you don't know. Maybe they would accept it. Go
Yeah,
like, hey, I
if,
have a gold coin. It's actually worth $1 million. Send
right.
it in and see if they go. You know what? Thank you. We didn't
Yeah,
know it was worth $1 million, but now you tell
right.
us it's worth $1 million.
Right, and then I'll be homeless on the streets with a free government phone. So I mean, that's why.
Hey, you might get an iPhone. Who knows?
Oh yeah, if I'm an iPhone, I might be a rapist. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, there's people right now who are listening to this on their iPhone, going like, "What is he? Is he insane?"
I'm I'm not saying that the average person who has an iPhone is a
So
rapist.
basically, okay. So if you're a homeless person with an iPhone, you're a rapist. Basically, that's what
No,
this is.
not only could you be a rapist,
It's only one of the things you could be.
you could be one of the things. You could be a rapist. You could be a government employee. or you're a beggar.
Can you be both? Can you be all the
Yeah,
above?
you could
Okay.
be all the above, but the problem.
A homeless government employee who's a
Yeah.
rapist.
Yes,
Got it.
you
All
can
right. Okay.
you
Cool.
can do all three. That's not up to me.
All right. So if he's
Um,
talking about you right now, you know.
get off the phone and throw it out. Okay, so yeah, so like, okay, look, if they were to actually like build something with platinum, out of platinum, right? Let's say they were gonna build a pyramid. Okay, they build a beautiful pyramid and it's like 95% platinum. Okay, and that will cover the debt for 10 years, 15 years, right?
Mhm.
Then they can just gift it to the Fed. That makes sense. But one coin that's worth right now like $1,200, that makes no sense to me. That because they're just like arbitrarily placing a value on it that anyone can technically do. But my question to you, Al, is if a platinum coin is going to be worth $1 trillion, will all the platinum coins also be worth
Oh,
$1 trillion?
no. But I would say that I think that maybe, at least in the short run, I could imagine that having an effect on the platinum price in general, though. I don't. Don't
Yeah,
get me wrong. It's not.
yeah.
It's not gonna go to trillion or whatever. But do I see it going up because of it? Probably. Maybe the artificial uh, price that it'll basically go up to is because for whatever reason we made this coin $1 trillion coin, and I
Right.
think it's that might have a like that's the only thing that I could really see out of that. But no, no way is anyone's coin gonna be like, hey man, my coin now is worth $250 million because no, none of that. No.
Right, right. I mean, as we know, platinum is one of the most scarce elements on the planet. So there wouldn't be a lot of people that would even have one. So I don't know. I don't know that there's a potential that it could be worth quite a bit, maybe even more than gold. You never know. So that could be
I
a
mean, it
potential
did
investment.
before. I wouldn't be too surprised if it does. But
Yeah.
will it? Will they even do this? All that kind of
No.
stuff. There's like too many ifs and potentials of it. But I'd be very very shocked if the government would go with this. Personally, at
No.
least, I don't see them buying it.
I don't think so. I think obviously that the debt ceiling is going to be, um, how would I say it? They're going to actually obtain enough money to cover all the programs, and if not more. I think what's going to happen is the dollar is going to depreciate again. It's going to continue to go down. I think a lot of people are going to continue to lose faith in the dollar. I think that's the ultimate. And as you can see, the gold price is continuously going up right now. So I really do think that paper money is really losing its appeal as of right now. So yeah, I think this is more of a gimmick. I think this is
Yeah.
more to keep people distracted.
I
To
I feel like this is more like a like economists going, okay, we don't really have a job at the moment, so how about we tell you about this idea that no one is going to use, but we could go like, yeah, see, this is would have been the help.
yeah,
I feel like it's just kind of like just throwing shit at the dartboard and trying to see if anything sticks. That's kind of what it's like to me. You know?
exactly. It's just a ridiculous story at a ridiculous point in time. And I think nothing is going to come out of it. It's going to blow over. I think people are just going to have an interesting discussion at the cooler, and
Right.
the people might start buying it just because they buy into it. But I think that in the long run, I think nothing's going to come out of it. So
I think you're right. Well, anyways, guys, thank you for joining us again for a podcast. If you guys could like it and love it and do all the other stuff that you do on YouTube, and anywhere you're at, basically anywhere where you're listening to this, and we'll see you guys next week.